You're listening to the Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. You've probably thought of a few jobs you can't do. North Pole explorer, ocelot trainer, prima ballerina. But what if the list of jobs you couldn't do was a little more pedestrian than that?
So I've been looking for a job.
Wait. What happened to I thought what happened to your retirement? I'm done with the North Pole and the Polar Express. I'm not working. I hate
am
working.
done with the Polar Express because it's February.
All right. Does the dog need another few $1,000s worth of training? What happened here?
I'm just bored. I'm bored. But see, this time it's not like just looking for a job because I'm finding out that anything I can do can be done by AI. So I'm like being pushed out of the job market by fake people.
I don't suppose you want to move to Chicago.
Well, here's my deal.
Yeah.
And hell no.
Just checking.
I need a job where I don't have to use my right arm, which is my dominant arm. And the only thing I can think of would be like answering phones. And nobody answers phones anymore.
No, it's bizarre how nobody answers phones. I tried to find somebody for an interview for my show, and it took me at least an hour to find an email contact that worked for her. And this person I wanted to interview leads 3 different organizations, and not one of them listed a phone number.
Yep. That is life in 2026. But yeah, I can't lift anything that's over 5 pounds.
So this rules out your career as a major league pitcher is what you're saying?
Yes. I can't use a computer mouse. I can't stock shelves for all the retail stores in town.
Why would you?
Well, I'm looking for a job where they just need a mean old lady to yell, "Stop it," or no.
Preschool.
No.
Bus driver.
I'm not changing dirty diapers.
Bus driver.
Bus driver. Yeah, that would be great.
I'm thinking of all the jobs that require mean old ladies to yell, "Stop it." Crossing guard?
We don't have any out here. There's not enough cars.
Oh. Okay, bus driver, crossing guard, preschool, playground monitor?
No such thing.
Oh, they have them here.
Well, you're talking about urban schools. This is more suburban than suburban out here.
Substitute teacher? Substitute teachers yell "Stop it" all day long. What about substitute teacher?
I would have to like kids.
Oh, right.
Or turn off my hearing aids.
Well, then how are you going to know when to yell "Stop it"? You'll just randomly, like some kind of strange alarm clock, yell "Stop it" at random intervals?
Well, remember the old days when they used to just put on 100-year-old video and just an old movie?
Yeah.
And that was your whole day at school because you had a substitute?
Yeah, I sort of remember that. But you've forgotten I didn't really go to school. I just went to the library all day, every day. So I have no idea what went on behind my back when...
But, we used to have to watch, really boring movies about World War whatever, or old documentaries, or a cartoon that you've already seen 150 times.
But you could do that. You could do that as a substitute teacher for a job. You could do that.
I guess I could.
There's a job for you.
None of the movies I like, I think would be appropriate for...
Home Alone, that doesn't cover it, huh?
I would say, okay, here, good. Kids, today we're going to watch Sons of Anarchy. I've been watching Sons of Anarchy, by the way, which is an old FX show.
Yeah.
About bikers.
Yeah.
And I go to bed every night in a bad mood because of watching that show.
Well,
and I could say, well, don't watch it. But I can't watch it in the morning because then my whole day is in a bad mood. So I watch it at night.
You have really boxed yourself in, I think.
I am just full of dilemmas.
You have really boxed yourself in.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I could hire myself out for snow shoveling.
I think receptionist is really what you want. I think you need to be at the front desk of something or other. Did I ever tell you about the weird time that I was doing job fill-in service? I forget what those things were called.
Temp jobs?
Yeah. And I got hired for a few weeks to sit in the Prudential building in Chicago, an iconic building, in a heavily carpeted corporate entryway where nobody ever came through. All the big corporate people had a secret private way in, so they didn't pass my desk. And nobody ever came to see these huge corporate people at this very big international corporation. And I just sat there after the first day when nobody came and nobody went, and I sat at this kind of high wooden surrounded podium, almost like I was a priest of something. And nobody came and nobody went. I just brought in some reading material because I wasn't answering phones and that wasn't my job. And it was bizarre. So I'm sitting there the second day and reading what I had brought with me. And again, nobody came and nobody went. On the third day, as I'm reading, this big corporate guy, I don't know what possessed him, but he decides to come in the front door and he sees me at this desk, and I've been there 3 days, and he asks my name, and I tell him, and he asks what I'm reading, and I show him it's Chaucer. And he says, "Are you reading that for a class?" And I say, "No, I'm reading it because I'm reading it." And he looks at me and he says, "Would you like a job here? What would you like to do?" And I look at him and I think, oh my God, the big president of international grain harvesting in Sri Lanka is asking me what I would like to do. And I gave what to me was a reasonable, but to him must have sounded like a completely insane answer. I said, "No, I'm going to be a top 40 disc jockey."
Yeah. I don't think anyone says that anymore.
And
ever.
the look on his face, like, what even is that? And why would you do that? And I'm handing you the golden ticket, like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, to corporate life. And I said, "No, I actually am going to be a disc jockey. And on the weekends, I'm a disc jockey right now in Rockford, Illinois." And he just shook his head and said, "Well, good luck." And I never saw anybody for the rest of the week that I sat there. So I got a lot of reading done. But that was my receptionist experience.
Well, I could probably be a pretty good receptionist as long as I don't have anything to do. I can sit in a chair and scroll on my phone all day.
You have to answer the phone, I think, most of the time.
But I can answer the phone, but I just don't like talking to people.
Well,
I only like talking to my people. And that's a very small circle.
It's true. I'm glad you talked to me. So we're ruling out virtually every possible job under the sun here.
I've been racking my brain. And yes, I cannot think of a single job that I can do without my dominant right hand.
You need, I think, to take a course for people who've become disabled and learn to do things with your feet.
Not disabled.
You're not disabled, but you can't take any job that requires you to use your right hand. Why don't you freaking learn to use your left hand? I use my left hand. It's not so hard.
Because you're left-handed.
I know, but I've had to use, because this is the world we live in, I have to use my right hand for the mouse and for editing and for the 5 minutes that I thought I might learn to use a sewing machine. For the 5 minutes that I thought I'd learn how to play the guitar, I had to learn to use you can do it.
Well, from the billions and billions of years that my right arm was locked into a cast.
Yes.
I had to use my left arm for certain things, like
Yes.
wiping my butt.
Yeah.
That. And
Important.
zippers,
Very important.
brushing my teeth, stuff
I
like
just
that.
like to point out you washed your hands in between there. I just want to point out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before everybody
Well, my
throws
hand.
up in the middle of this podcast.
Yes, my hand. 'Cause
Yes.
the other one was in plaster,
Right.
with a grocery bag over it
Yep.
to keep it dry.
Yep.
You know the drill.
I do. I really do.
Being the not most coordinated person in the world, or
Yes.
being the most uncoordinated person outside walking the earth right now,
Possibly.
I wouldn't count on my left-handedness too much.
Oh.
But I did start dancing Zumba this morning. I can dance.
I
I could
failed
be
to
a
see the
Zumba dancer.
connection. Oh God.
I can be a Zumba. I can teach Zumba because I have so much rhythm.
When I was visiting my girlfriend in Maine, she got a phone call, and then I met a friend of hers who used to be a school counselor.
I could do that.
And she did this for years. And I can certainly imagine what led her to chuck it all. And now she works as Steve in India for one of the few companies that has American customer service.
Okay.
You
There are
could.
few. There are so many scam jobs out there, though, that are customer service.
She works for a big bank.
Okay.
And I honestly think that if you did it early in the morning before you had a chance to be grumpy, before anything went wrong in your day, before
Yeah.
cows showed up in your yard, and
Before I
before,
watched Sons of Anarchy.
right, if you had a Steve in India style customer service job, you could do that.
I've actually looked and
Yeah.
looked and looked, and it's hard to tell what's real and what isn't when it comes to these work from home jobs.
Mm.
It's really hard. And you know me, I'm the virus queen of Northern Arizona.
Oh my gosh,
I will click on anything.
clicked on a link. I don't know how they even get into my phone to tell me that I have 5 minutes to click on the link or my phone will blow up. And the awful part is that if anything really does get into my phone, I'll be like, fine. There's nothing in here for you because I can't learn how to do any of those important things on my phone anyhow, like banking. That's their favorite thing. If you don't download this virus software right now, all your banking info. And the minute they say all your banking information, you know that it's horsewash because,
Right.
yeah, no. The minute you see like telltale words that are meant to scare you, then you know.
Well, I think that I've already had my scathingly brilliant idea of what to do. And
What's that?
It's fitness dancing
Okay.
for lazy
All
old
right.
ladies
I think
over
we've-
70 that like to work out to 70s music.
You know, I had a job like that once.
I'm sure you did. Anything that has workout in it is not happening in my world.
Well, I was not exactly the queen of phys ed, as you know.
Yes.
But when I started, this is like all Turi's old jobs are coming back to her now. And I think I write about this one in my book. I worked morning drive at this little AM radio station where you had to turn it on at sunrise, which changed my hours every month, of course. And there were 10 oldies compilations to choose from, and they were all scratched up. And I was supposed to do the hour of morning drive oldies, and I had 2 listeners. One was a Holocaust denier. I didn't even know what that was until I started getting mail. And the other was a depressed teenager from Skokie who always wanted to hear Herman's Hermit, Something Tells Me I'm Into Something Good, every morning, or she would kill herself. And that was my job. But of course, it didn't pay enough money to live on because it was just that couple of hours. Plus, then I had to run the tape of all the Christian evangelical shows.
Yeah, I used to have to do that too.
And so I was the first
Baptist hour.
I was the first one on my block to hear about Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson before anybody knew who those people were. I ran their tapes. And then, but it wasn't enough money because I only got paid minimum wage plus an hour to empty the garbage cans every week. So I would go to the YWCA in Evanston and teach aquatic exercise to old ladies. And let me tell you, if you want some marital wisdom, those old ladies with their milk jugs, that's what we used for weights because they had handles that the old ladies
I thought
could.
you were talking about their boobs.
No, I had to clarify because I knew you would think that.
Yes, I am sorry, the picture's already there.
We used plastic milk jugs filled with water because in those days, this was so many decades ago, there weren't those little hand weights that you could put in the water. So we would use those for upper body. And so weirdly, I became the patron saint because I would talk dirty to the old ladies because they could talk dirty to me about marriage and husbands and private parts. And that was my job for a while. So I wouldn't say that it can't be done, Marci.
Well, I would like roll over and die if the old ladies all started farting in the water and it was filled with bubbles.
I don't think that was the problem. I think that the problem was that they were all worried about how often they had to have sex with their husbands who they loved, but they,
And they asked you.
well, no, they would just talk about it. And I would be like, really? My boyfriend and I do it like rabbits. And they all would look at me like, yeah, we used to be you.
Yeah, well, I have to say Sons of Anarchy has pretty much ruined my whole life right now. And I only have one more season to go. And then maybe I'll be in a better mood when I go to bed at night.
Well, we can all look forward to that.
Or my husband can.
Thanks for listening to the Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. And if you've made it this far, we're guessing you liked it. So please recommend it to your friends and check out my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. You can get it at your neighborhood independent bookstore or that website that sells everything.